So I just want to start this off by saying that I believe it's in the why. It's in the why you do it, not what you do. So I want to start by saying my name is Joel, and I'm just someone with big dreams. I've got ideas, I've got plans, and I want to see what I imagine materialize. And that's what I'm here to talk about right now, is that some of these little pictures, little cards, just started simply as an idea and turned into something real. And that's what I want to talk about today, is that we can all have ideas or plans or things that we want to put into action, and it is possible, because each step we can take can slowly put us in the direction that we want to go to. So to begin, I want to start with this one. This photo was taken a couple years back on a hike my dad and I did in Squamish. It was at the Sea to Sky Gondola, in fact, and I made a video about it. And while I was in Banff, I figured I wanted to make something out of my photos, because I love taking pictures. It's such a fun way for me to be creative and to capture the beauty in the everyday, in the world around us that we live in, to really take note of what we see as beautiful and what we find that we're able to have joy in. So there are moments in our lives that can have turning points, or that can make an impact. And there was a time on this kayak trip that I went on when a friend of mine asked me if you could only do one of two things, if you could if you had to decide between doing the two things that you love, what would you do? If it would be doing it in practice, or simply believing it. And I believe that it is trying to do both. It is to be in alignment with your intentions. It is to attempt to live in accordance with your values, and to live passionately about what you find important, what you find meaningful to you. So there are times in our life when we feel stuck, or we don't know where to go next. And it was about last summer when I was just a little bit kind of confused about where I wanted to go next and what I really wanted to do with my life. And I simply am not the type of person that wants to stay in school longer than necessary for what end in sight. So I wanted to travel, I wanted to explore, I wanted to create new experiences, I wanted to meet people, I wanted to make new connections. And so that led me to having the idea of, maybe I can go see the other part of Canada, the East Coast, and see what it has to offer, because so much of us who live on the West Coast don't get to experience the East Coast. So I heard about Cape Breton in a magazine, and on September 13th of 2021, I took a flight over to Halifax, and I had the goal, the dream of getting to experience the Cabot Trail on Cape Breton Island. And while I was in Halifax, I was just solo. I was a solo traveler with a backpack and a couple bags, looking to get out on a new experience. And I really had to open up. I had to be open to new connections and having to be vulnerable in order to take the next step forward. And that really allowed me to start talking to new people and looking out for what new opportunities could be out there. And that led to getting a ride really from Halifax over to Cape Breton. And that was when, on the first leg of our journey on the Middlehead Trail, I took this photo. And it was here, it was the start of the trip. And that was this photo that later turned into a postcard. And this postcard is now one of the photos that I've taken that's turned into what I want to call a photo as a memory. as a memory that we can have of a place that we've been, that we can re-experience and share in a way for others to kind of have that similar feeling of, oh wow, that would be a beautiful place. I wonder if I could experience that for myself. And it really, one thing led to another, that from Cape Breton I wanted to have a way to spend the winter in a different way, and I don't have a photo of it here, but last winter I ended up landing in Banff as my destination for the winter. So essentially by the end of November, after I took a few more stops throughout Canada, I figured I would settle in Banff with really no clear idea of what the future would hold, rather than I had a vision of learning to ski. And so I took a job at a ski hill where I started out as a ticket checker, scanning tickets and passes at the start of the ski hill, which was not ideal by any means, but that allowed me to have a place to live on the hill. It provided a staff accommodation for housing, and I was able to meet some more people. And by meeting new people, and I really wanted to make the most of my time in Banff, so I was able to get into the rental shop to spend my winter there, renting out skis and snowboards to people who would come up to the hill. And that was when I was able to get a lesson for myself, and I had skis to practice on. So that winter I learned to ski, and that was one of the greatest experiences up until my life this far, of being able to do something completely new. And it was just such an amazing experience getting to meet all these people from over Canada, all with just a similar dream of getting to spend their winter in Banff in the mountains skiing and snowboarding. But while I was in Banff, it was still not easy. It was cold, and it was the winter, and it was just, I was away from family during Christmas, and I needed something to really motivate me and be able to inspire myself to want to keep creating and keep imagining what the future could hold. So from there, that was when I looked back at some of the photos that I had taken in the past, and I wanted to create something. And so my dad had created some photo cards where he had done some paintings on canvas, and then taken some photos of them, and then turned those paintings into cards. Or I can show a few. They turned into these ones, but these photo cards inspired me to create some of my own, where I said, hey Dad, I bet it'd be awesome if I could create something of my own from these cards. So I took a few more of my photos and turned them into these cards. So this one here was of a photo I took in Squamish that eventually led me to want to take the next step of getting to experience more of Squamish by getting to live there and getting to work there. So by the end of March, I had happened to get myself a job at the Sea to Sky Gondola, which is a tourism company in Squamish, where it's just a place where it's able to access a different part of the mountains by taking a gondola up. And while I was there, it gave me a lot of time to think and consider about what I was doing and what I wanted to do and how I wanted to make more of what I had started doing. And so I took one of the photos I had taken one morning, it must have been in Squamish, into another photo postcard where it's almost based off of my well, it was the photo I taken that I got my dad to paint a card of. And so I've got a couple of these postcards and a couple of these other different greeting cards where I really just want to overall just inspire others to think about what they desire and what they really want to do with their lives, and what they find the leading light in themselves to create the life of their dreams by looking within and seeing what motivates them and what is the driving force, what is the intention, what is your purpose? What do you hope to achieve? And so by these postcards, as simple as it may be, my goal is to be able to reach out to more people and make more meaningful, lasting connections by reaching out to friends far and near, by sending a postcard or sending a greeting card. And with the Christmas season coming up, that's what I want to start doing more of, is getting to reach out to more people and getting to send something that is as simple as a postcard in the mail, but it comes from the heart and it comes from my mind, and I just want to be able to send something and share something that could spark a little joy and add some happiness to someone's day, because at the end of it, we're just in this world striving to be happy, striving to be ourselves as best as we can be each and every day. So with that, thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and maybe you'll get a postcard. Thanks.